Welcome! Today we have a special crossover movie review for Halloween Ends, the supposed final movie in the storied Halloween movie series. Some of you may know our work from our Hate Watchers YouTube channel where we do comedic breakdowns and reviews of shows and movies. Well, this video is also going to be featured on my other channel, Halloween Haven, which we want to make your source for all things Halloween. That channel is going to focus on all aspects of Halloween, like movies, costumes, history, wild true stories, myths, legends, traditions, crafts, events, and much, much more. So, it'll be quite different from Hate Watchers, but if you love Halloween, we'd love you if you would head over and subscribe to that channel as well. Halloween Haven will be linked in the description down below. Without further ado, let's jump right into the breakdown. Spoilers ahead for Halloween Ends. We start off the film on Halloween night 2019. We meet Corey, who's babysitting one of the neighborhood children, while his parents are out doing shots and lines of coke or something. The kid Corey's babysitting hides from him, trying to prank him based off of the fear left in the town by Michael Myers' recent massacre we saw 1 year prior in Halloween Kills. Corey starts horsing around with him, and accidentally blasts him over the banister, and he plummets down 3 floors, splattering right in front of his parents, and the opening credits are rolled. We then hear Laurie Strode doing a voiceover, talking about how Michael's relentless evil has changed Haddonfield as we see clips from Halloween and Halloween Kills followed by gruesome recent deaths around the town. Laurie's trying her hand at writing, which she's absolutely mediocre at, and we learn she's been adjusting to a more traditional life, free of the fear and paranoia she lived under in the previous films. 3 years later, Corey works at a junkyard now, and his father gives him a motorcycle. A sleazy cop pulls over Laurie's granddaughter Allison and hits on her. We get an ominous view of a sewage tunnel under the bridge. Gee, who could be in there? A typical group of freakish Zoomers harass Corey at a gas station and Laurie stops it. She brings Corey to her granddaughter at the hospital and she's instantly and overtly attracted to him for no reason. The doctor makes some extremely inappropriate comments.
Cute, isn't she?
Corey offers to help fix Allison's car and the two exchange numbers. Laurie and former officer Frank awkwardly hit on each other at the store.
I like your hair.
Thanks. I just sort of chopped it one day.
Wow.
Laurie gets harassed in the parking lot by people who think she's to blame for Michael's rampages on the town. Allison and Corey go to a Halloween party where he has a seizure or something. They fight and Allison doesn't know what to do with her hands. Corey and the Zoomers argue about what the best vape is and he gets tossed off the side of a bridge for saying Juul. Corey's limp body gets effortlessly dragged into the sewage tunnel. He comes to in the tunnel where we see Michael for the first time as he chokes the life out of Corey, until he looks into his eyes and sees the past or something and lets him go. Corey gets slightly startled by a homeless guy, so he pokes more holes in him than Swiss cheese. He looks himself in the mirror and decides to become very creepy now. Corey tells Allison he kills people and shows her where it all started. The sleazy cop is back to hit on Allison and Corey tells him to get lost. Corey kissed a girl and has a motorcycle now and he's totally full of himself. He ambushes the sleazy cop who's come looking for him and draws him into the sewage tunnel where Michael is waiting. Michael and Corey kill him, and then they orgasm together. Allison and Corey plow. The sleazy doctor is entertaining his assistant when Corey ambushes them and kills the doctor. He's got the assistant cornered when Michael busts in to show him how it's done. Okay, here we go. He powered back up with the first kill, and now he's getting to his old form. Corey is with Allison when they run into the radio DJ who says what we're all thinking.
What you doing out here, you ugly motherfucker?
Corey's mom kisses him on the lips in a bizarre scene. He wakes up on the spot where his first victim died, and Laurie's there to tell him to stay away from Allison, before she disappears when he's not looking like she's Batman. Corey wrestles Myers' mask off and leaves him behind in the sewer. Allison is leaving town with Corey, and Laurie tries to stop her. Corey lures the Zoomer crew to the junkyard where he brutally massacres all of them and gets his dad killed. He goes on a rampage, killing his mom, the receptionist at the radio station, and the DJ from earlier. Laurie decides to commit suicide out of absolutely nowhere. Psych, she only wanted to fake out the killer that she somehow guessed was in her house. Boy, she would have felt stupid if she was wrong. Turns out it's Corey who's decided he has to kill Laurie to be with Allison, but he gets confused or something and just kills himself. Allison walks in, and it looks like Laurie killed Corey. Hey, that rhymed. I'm already a better writer now than Laurie and whoever wrote this piece of crap movie. Michael comes into the home and reclaims his mask before finishing off Corey. And here we go, Michael is back. Buckle up. He stalks Laurie and they fight in the kitchen. Laurie gets the upper hand and plays pin the knife on the slasher. Allison comes in and she and Laurie just slowly and anticlimactically slice his throat and wrists. They decide this wasn't final enough, and they parade Michael's corpse around town before driving him to the scrap chipper in the junkyard. The whole town watches as they shove him down into the chipper, and his body is grinded up and his head explodes like a watermelon. In the aftermath, Allison leaves town and Lori finishes her trash book. Lori talks about cherry blossoms with Frank, we see a shot of Michael's mask on Lori's table, and the movie comes to a merciful end. Well, we've reached that point in the video where we have to decide if this movie was a great watch or a hate watch. If you sat through the breakdown, then you already know the answer to this one. This movie is 100% without a doubt a hate watch. What have they done to our boy Michael Myers? The only true serial killer here was the writing that did its damnedest to almost completely write him out of his own final movie. This honestly felt like a spin-off movie they wanted to make branching off of the Halloween series, but they knew it was terrible and no one would watch it. So they shoehorned Michael Myers and Lori into this one and slapped on the Halloween label. The Halloween series has been a genre-defining run of 12 horror movies that spanned over 40 years, and Michael Myers stands tall as the prototypical slasher. There's been some real stinkers in those 12 movies, but none of them were bad enough to kill the franchise like Halloween Ends. It fits that this film is the unlucky 13th in the series. Speaking of things that are fitting for this film, nothing fits it better than the title Halloween Ends. It should end after this. Good riddance. Let's at least get everyone involved with this film down to Michael Myers' sewer pipe. Or, well, at least far away from the next film if they ever decide to make another. Just top to bottom, this movie felt bad. Like, uncomfortably bad. Like, embarrassed to be in the theater where other people saw you watching this movie bad. At least they were going through the same humiliation of being there too. First off, this was a gore movie, not a horror movie. It's one thing to have gruesome deaths at the end of a terrifying stalking sequence in someone's dark home. But this movie didn't really bother building up that tension beforehand, so the end result is just bloody, gruesome deaths for gore's sake. As mentioned before, Halloween is one of the first movies people think about when you say horror movie, but apparently this movie just had to be different. The dialogue was ham-fisted and cliche, like if you showed a child some horror movies and asked them to just write down the lines they remembered. It's good for nothing more than a few big cringes. The plot was bizarre, as you can tell from the breakdown. This movie is about a town living under the shadow of fear from Michael Myers' massacre a year prior, so they must cope with that. Just kidding, it's about Lori dealing with PTSD and survivor's guilt, and her struggle to live a normal life in the wake of her experiences. Just kidding, it's about her granddaughter's search for a soul as damaged as her own to fall in love with. Just kidding, it's about this guy's descent into evil. Just kidding, it's about Lori and Michael like always. I mean, pick a lane, people. And there were so many random things we as viewers were just supposed to accept. Why was Allison instantly, uncontrollably attracted to this turd? How does Lori know anyone's in the house? Why would we believe Lori would suddenly commit suicide? Corey came to the house to kill Lori, and when given a full invitation to do so, he kills himself? What? It was just 111 minutes of laughably bad writing, both in dialogue and storytelling. Now let's talk about the 800-pound serial killer in the room. This movie completely butchered our beloved movie icon Michael Myers. We start off seeing him living in the sewers like a rat. He's not shown to have any motivation to leave this sewer whatsoever. Then he gets his first kill and it looks like he was just waiting to get that feeling back before returning to his normal form. He joins Corey on a tandem kill, and this is different for Michael, but okay, we'll take it for now. Let's keep making progress. Then he's back in his sewer, and Corey takes his mask off of him without much of a fight, and he looks like a feeble old man. Now obviously Michael is what, 60 years old now? But the whole point of the previous films is he's the personification of evil, and he can't be stopped, and he has unnatural strength and vigor. So Corey's bitch ass shouldn't be able to do this to him. Anyway, getting back to the plot. Myers catches up with Corey and finishes him off even though he's already pretty much dead, and then he has a lackluster, uninspired confrontation with Lori that lasts all of 5 minutes beginning to end. It was an absolute joke. The Michael Myers of films past would have just slashed Corey's throat the first time he saw him before moving on to the rest of the unsuspecting town. A better idea, if you're intent on killing off Michael Myers, would be to have him go on a murderous rampage, have Corey study under him, and have Lori kill Myers, and then you can have your Corey spin-off if you want. This just wasn't a Michael Myers movie. He had 3 kills and 2 were fed to him, and the third was already mortally wounded. I mean, I covered every single scene he was in and mentioned him less than 10 times in the breakdown. Halloween Kills was surprisingly good, covering how public fear can create monsters out of your friendly neighbors. Halloween Ends is just about a kid's random journey into being evil and everyone just enabling him. It was a giant step back from the previous film. Halloween Kills killed in the box office and left people wanting more. Halloween Ends ended any hype anyone had for this series. And it's just personally sad for me to see as we got into this film series and binged all of the movies last year, culminating with seeing Halloween Kills in theaters. And in my headcanon, this series might have to end with that movie rather than this abomination. I mean, how did the same people who brought us this give us this?
I like your face.
And this?
Show grief your fucking tits.
And this?
No.
I hope you find love.
It's obvious that someone just wanted to get their idea of art out there rather than continue the movie series, and they used Halloween Ends to accomplish that. And whoever that is should be ashamed of themselves and journey far, far away from Hollywood. In-universe, Michael is the personification of evil, capable of inhuman survival and an unstoppable will to kill. And in the real world, Halloween films can be decent moneymakers. For those reasons, I fully expect the movie series to continue in some form. But if they are going to continue in the same vein as this one, then Halloween really should just end. Thank you to everyone who joined us for this breakdown and review. Comment below, did you see or want to see Halloween Ends? What did you think of it if you did? Did you like Halloween Kills? Please remember to head on over to Halloween Haven if you think Halloween is the undisputed best holiday like we do, and hit that subscribe button on my new channel. Oh, and remember to hit the thumbs up as it helps more struggling fans see our videos. Thank you again, and we'll catch you on the next one. And
Happy Halloween.